side. But I guess we're just going to see as this draft starts. It is on Dragonshire, so definitely Kinu, who is with TNL for a long time, going to be a big force on this map.
DsA will first ban Kael'thas. Now TSA will have, wow, I did it already. TAS will have to respond here. And there's a lot of different choices on this map, but you're really worried about what DsA wants to pick first, and they probably know, based on scrims and that sort of thing, what the DsA is looking for, because Kael'thas is somewhat of a throwaway ban in this case. They're going to pick up Thrall first.
Yeah, there's no surprise here whatsoever. You need someone up in that top lane to be able to hold it, and no one really better at that than Thrall.
Muradin usually goes into this slot here, but if they want to take Uther away from Kinu, which, I mean, I'm talking about stuff from 2015 right now, but if you're thinking about that, it was the last time Kinu played competitively. That's something to keep in mind. We're going to grab Falstad first.
Definitely one of the best heroes on this map, so not at all surprised. I think like a Muradin pickup would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I think it's the best way.
If they don't take it, then Muradin or ETC will go to the other side, and DsA will then ban the other one. So that's just like kind of how that goes right now.
Yeah.
As far as professional heroes go, so would be a little bit surprised with anything else. But they could pick up something like a very strong assassin or a healer, as you said.
Yeah, I'd have to say Muradin is a safe pick. Uther is the comfort ban, like I want to take that away from Kino. Wow, Zul. Did not expect him to go so highly on this map here.
Well, he is a fantastic solo laner. He's one of the best pushers in the game, so I guess it's not like terrible, but here DsA picks up their tank and bans the other one because like the tank hierarchy is pretty much set. It's like ETC and Muradin are the top two. Johanna's good, Stitches is good. There's a few ones that are good, but are not that level. Well, you watch, they'll do something completely different from what I said.
They are going to do what you said, though, and grab Muradin. I was going to say the only other option is if you want to have Kino on Uther, he supports both Greymane and Thrall insanely well. But they are going to take the better draft mode here, take Muradin away, and they could just ban ETC here.
Oh, absolutely. It would be completely shocking if anything else was banned. You watch, like, TAS bans ETC. I'm like, all right, Wolf, I'm going home. You can finish this one out.
I think an Uther ban here is pretty smart for TAS. He supports both Greymane and Thrall very well. Kino, an insanely good Uther player. I mean, I just keep talking about this because if you guys didn't watch last year, he made some of the best Divine Shields I've ever seen, even in today's contemporary heroes. Like, he's an insanely good Uther player.
I would say 100%. Even if they don't get Uther, they have to take someone that they're going to be taking Cleanse with because of Bone Prison. It's just too strong. But they take out Abathur, afraid of that global presence.
Yeah, and I think the ETC pick here is, or ban I should say, is definitely the most obvious choice, and there it is. And this will kind of force a Johanna pick for TAS right now. They don't have much other tank options. And it's funny because they do, again, have two players listed as the warrior role.
Yeah.
So how this is going to fit together is going to be interesting. I really like this. They finally did it. Took them long enough, but they're going to take Uther here. He synergizes so well with Thrall and Greymane.
Indeed. Now, of course, they do need a main tank still, and we'll see what else they want to actually end up going for. I'm very interested because we did see DsA is a character that they do like on TAS, and DsA's quite nice on Dragonshire. He definitely can mess with those shrines a bit, but they already have the global presence of Falstad.
Yeah.
So I'm holding my breath, Wolf. I don't think we're going to see him, but I'd love it.
Yeah, I feel like if we see him at all, it'll probably be on DsA's side. I don't think we are going to, but something to keep in mind. Zeroto coming out here.
Not a bad choice.
And this leaves them a little bit of a flex last pickup, responding to the last choice of DsA. We're going to take Tastar and Tehran double support, going to synergize insanely well with the Thrall Greymane, which we saw so much even back as far as the Spring Champs. We're seeing it very highly in Asia.
Yeah, I mean, they have Tyrannodon combo here as well. Everything looking really good for DsA. This is just very, very solid as far as their draft goes.
Diablo coming in instead of Johanna.
Okay.
Lion likes his Diablo. And, I mean, this is not insanely surprising, but definitely not standard. This is not, like, as meta as Johanna here.
Diablo pairs really well with Zul. Like, if you do a flip on someone into a Bone Prison, they are gone. I mean, they're going to have to come back to life at your main base and then walk back out because they're dead.
The Void Prison synergy with Apocalypse is also really, really nice if you can time that properly, which is very difficult to mess that up. Because Apocalypse actually has such a long cast time that you just press R and let the Void Prison go, and then you get the Apocalypse. Also, you know, I mean, if things go crazy, Lightning Breath synergizes decently with it as well, and Lightning Breath will synergize insanely well with Bone Prison on any single target that's locked down there.
I guess that's true.
Probably unlikely to see that, but I mean, it's definitely possible.
Yeah. I think the APOC going to be a little bit better for them in this game, so kind of expecting that. Do you have a draft that you really preferred here?
I just like the Greymane Thrall with Tassadar support. Tyranda's obviously great as well, but I mean, just the shield that you get on those heroes that are going to be up in the front lines, Leeching Plasma as well. Like, I mean, you just have so much health. You're never going to die. I like the draft of DsA better.
Me too. I mean, Muradin and Tassadar against Zeratul. Sorry, buddy, you're not doing much this game. All right, looks like we're ready for game number 1 with DsA against TAS.
All right, for DsA, Tist is playing Muradin, Reset is on Thrall, Kinu on Tassadar, BDG on Greymane, and Nacho Gen bringing up the Tyrande.
All right, very cool to see that Kinu is actually on Tassadar and Nacho Gen on Tyrande. Kind of makes sense. Of course, she's not going to go heal build. All right, over here in the red, Gamang on Zul, Haben on Zeratul, Lion on Diablo, Onyxian on Uther, and Sungwoo on Falzad. It is TAS.
Oh, well, there's a dead hero already. Oh, no, Onyxian does barely escape there, but does get locked down for quite some time. And now it's Tist who's in trouble, but not even going to use his Dwarf Toss there. No fear, and he will grab the kill on Lion. First blood going to DsA.
Yeah, a little bit painful right there. Kind of surprised that they would fight in the middle when you have Tyrande and Muradin out there, and as well as a Tassadar. I mean, like, doesn't that straight win?
I mean, it really just depends on how the fight goes, because I feel like both sides have strengths here, especially because Muradin can Dwarf Toss away. He has like a little bit of an extra forward presence that can't really be overstated. But Diablo should be the side that wins, especially with all the stuns they have with Uther's hammer and, of course, the Bone Prison. So.
Well, DsA, this is going to be really hard with TAS. Let's call him TAS.
Sure, we can call him TAS.
Let's call him TAS for my own sanity, or I'm just going to keep on being slow trying to say their names. Anyways, oh my god! TAS's fall stat falls immediately.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, one of the things about the comp for TAS, when you look at it, is they have Zul, which is like best wave clear in the game, basically, for killing minions and pushing waves. You can't kill a tower as fast as, say, Sylvanas, but we have Thrall, Greymane, and Tassadar on DsA, so they can rotate, kill minions, and go between the lanes so quickly, and they have so much lockdown with these lunar flares. And there's another kill on Zul.
Yeah, that's a little bit painful right there. DsA kind of crushing face so far.
That's a less than 2-minute Dragon Knight.
Yeah, guys, this is probably going to be a pretty quick match tonight. Like, I really think so. We were talking about it before that it would probably end up being a 3-0. Kinu said so as well. You know, TAS is just kind of an amateur team right now, but we'll see if maybe they can pull it together here. But that was a little bit rough.
Yeah.
They're already down a full level,
At this point, like, Kinu is like, you know, look at how quickly the Dragon Knight dies. Died in like 30 seconds, basically. I mean, he's going to save it and walk away, but he's probably thinking to himself, like, maybe I might even be able to do more damage at this point of the scaling with the Q on the Dragon Breath. Like, I probably do more damage with Tassadar's Psystorm than that.
Yeah, there you go.
He's like, I should probably just get out of this. Like, this isn't doing much for me. 1 minute, 45-second Dragon Knight? I don't know about that.
Yeah. I like it. Oh, man, look at this. They are actually trying to go after Thrall right now, and it looks like Reset will be as much.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. He's totally reset. He's got to go back.
Yeah.
12 seconds till he comes back.
Okay, cool.
Long boot time on that one, though.
Yeah.
Every time I had to, like, restart my my Super Nintendo, it took that long. I'd never do it. I'd just leave it on all night.
Remember when systems had a reset button?
Yeah. I guess the last one I had that was a
Super Nintendo, right?
Nah, it was. I think it was the Wii. That was the last one I had.
Did it have it? Oh, I actually don't know. I think I own a Wii. Or I did until I got a Wii U.
But there's no reason to reset, Artosis. Nacho Gen does get caught here, and hey, you know, if TAS keeps grabbing kills like this, I think they're starting to really come into their comp. You're like, well, we just have so much CC, we just roam and kill. And Kinu's going to die as well.
Oh, man, a little bit sloppy there. You know, I think that those kills do partly come down to DsA might have already been like, okay, this is too easy, right? And sometimes you kind of like don't force yourself to play as well. This happens sometimes with teams.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they had a little bit of nerves and they're coming back up into their level of play. That's what I hope that it is.
Pretty interesting build for Muradin. He's actually grabbing his third win,
yeah.
so he's going to have like a lot of presence in lane. He's going to have a lot of sustain. He's never really going to have to tap that much.
Yeah, it's not something that you really see all that often. I guess that they're fine with the wave clear and don't care for that second reverb, but you heal up a hell of a lot faster with a third win for sure.
Yeah, I really do.
I have tried it and been yelled at by my teammates before, so I do know that.
TAS does get caught here in the middle, but he's very happy to be with shields on him as well as his attack speed slows. He's in a good place there. He's just going to back off. Looking at other things here, not a ton different build-wise.
You know what else, Wolf, I want to bring up real quick is that, like, Tassadar doesn't actually heal you at all.
That's true.
You know, and that's kind of like the main heal here. Tronic did, it looks like, take healing ward, but her spot heal doesn't do that much. So actually, that's going to help Muradin in a lot of ways. I like that. That's like a really clever talent for them to take. I love seeing differences like that.
Yeah, he'll basically just not have to go back to the Hall of Storms as often, so he'll be able to rejoin fights more consistently.
If only they had Malfurion as a third support to keep his mana up, he would just never leave the front.
Yeah, well, speaking of never leaving the front, Zul is doing that build where he grabs regen and mana from killing minions and getting skeletons. Nacho Gen will get blown up here. Nothing TAS can do to save him, and we're seeing like some sloppy rotations here from DsA, like getting caught too many times. And TAS, they have the composition that will, with all these stuns, grab people. Oh, they're going to pay for it this time, though, overextending and losing too.
Yeah, certainly a little bit there, but you know what? These are some good moves by TAS right now. Those skeletons going to keep them in lane a little bit longer to clear that, and they can rotate away very quickly.
Yeah, they're just trying to use the push power of the skeletons in lane to make it so that the lanes are pushed, they get extra vision, and it forces DsA to kind of respond. They're going to grab the second Dragon Knight here, though, with a double kill.
Yeah.
And they have 10, they have Heroics.
It's under 6 minutes. Second Dragon Knight is out, so that's definitely very strong for DsA so far here.
Starfall coming out as well for Nacho Gen. Not a big surprise considering the compositions here.
Starfall's really good right now. I've definitely been seeing it more and more in pro play lately.
Yeah. It's a really good heroic. It always has been. But when you have double supports, it's just a more viable option. Give you a little bit more damage.
Certainly.
Whoa! Where are you going? Where are you going?
That was a really nice Lunar Flare going down. We do have the Divine Shield being popped here onto Sungwoo. In the meantime, Arrest taking a lot of damage. TAS as well.
All that extra damage from the Poison Nova did a lot, especially because they don't have a dedicated healer. It's tough, but they just had too much sustain there. They had the Dragon Knight in the middle of the fight as well, so he wasn't going to go down. He was going to do a ton of extra AoE damage with the Fire Breath on the Dragon, and still ends up being a win here. That nice Divine Shield save on Falstad was cool, but really one of those things where it's like, okay, it's cool that he saved him, but that shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, where he jumped in was a little bit greedy. Like, maybe he was jumping in trying to get a gust or something, but it shows you where he's jumping in. You have Tyrande there with Lunar Flare up. Things are not going to end well.
Don't forget that during this fight, Sundering was not used at all. So if that had been used, they might have been able to get more, but he was patient enough to hold on to that. So, just something else to keep in mind. One extra piece of information for you guys.
Well, it looks like right now they are going to go ahead and grab some of these Merc camps. TAS staying in it. Only a level behind right now. Not a talent tier or anything, so that's definitely a big deal. But DsA actually invading over here for the Giant camp.
It's really tough to invade versus a team that has this much CC. There's a huge Sundering though with the Force Wall synergy, but look at that. Void Prism coming from behind.
That Void Prism really helping out. Good move there by Haben. In fact, they do end up getting the Giant, so a moral victory at least.
Oh, that was a great gust there because the Starfall was well placed. And the funny thing about these kind of moves is the Giants themselves are so insignificant. It's the fight really that matters, the decision of the fight, because the winning team will just kill the Giants in a second. Like we just saw, like, even though neither team really won there, it was like, well, I mean, if we just kill these, it doesn't matter. They died to the Starfall, basically. And the bot push continues, so they're getting that fort pretty low.
Yeah, it certainly is. Right now, we actually have that Bruiser camp up top being cleaned out by Reset. He's been moved all the way to that top lane. In the meantime, we do, of course, have Haben in the center here with Zeratul. By the way, very good play out of Haben so far this game. Really, that Void Prism saved his team.
Yeah. And then the follow-up gust was great as well. TIST fans! What up, TIST? Just like talking to the fans. I don't know what he
TIS
said.
sounds like something I would like do to a cat that was misbehaving. Like, you know?
I think the idea, actually, I talked to Moonvid about this when we were casting before. I think the idea is it's the sound that Zeratul makes when he blinks. It's like, you know, or like a ninja.
Maybe. Maybe.
By
You
the
guys
way,
are either really clever or not. I don't know.
Reset barely escapes here, by the way. TIS in the front lines and a great Sundering, and the Wolf connects as well.
Oh, Nixian getting very, very low. Sunwoo, it does get blown up there, and the Starfall comes out as well. Nixian gets away with almost 0 health left over.
Down to 37 there, but still 2-for-1 trade, a positive exchange here for DsA, and they still have these Knights pushing. Notice that Zul rotate right down to the mid lane. He's like, I'm not sticking around here. I got to get something done. I got to do some sort of counter push, or we're going to lose this Dragon Knight.
You know what? Definitely, it's a good thing that Zul continues to do this because that's really kind of helping them to stay in the game. He's been pushing 2 lanes at once for most of this. So definitely some good work trying to keep his team to have some sort of shot still in this game.
Okay, TIS coming up here with Reset, and Onyxian is in trouble. There's the Gust to try to save, but the Force Wall is solid!
Oh! Just barely out of range of that Lunar Flare. Nixian going to have to go back and at least tap at a well right now, but looks like he will Hearthstone all the way back.
I just say, like, Sungwoo is also being a big savior. I almost feel like he's the support in this game. He's keeping everybody alive with those Gusts. Without him, I mean, we would have had, you know, multi-kills in some of these fights, perhaps even a wipe in that first fight at the Giants down there on red side.
Certainly the case. Right now, DsA, they do have that bottom shrine. Looks like it's time for them to take some camps while they slowly but surely work their way up towards the top shrine. But look, right now, TAS is just not really doing as much. If you notice, they're just kind of standing around a bit, whereas DsA, it feels like their actions always have a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, everything they do is relevant.
Whereas look at what TAS is doing. They're like, maybe we catch him in a bush, and everyone's at like different bushes and stuff. It doesn't really quite line up.
Trying a little bit of Chinese flavor. Oh no, Haven gets caught there. A Lunar Flare in the dark. Gonna lock that kill down, and that was the engage they were hoping for. They're looking for a good Void Prison there with a follow-up Apocalypse. Not gonna happen though. By the way, a shot of Kinu down there at the bottom. He's looking fierce.
Yeah. By the way, I'm like glancing down from time to time because we can actually see their booth really well. It looks like he's the only one that's really talking.
Yeah.
So I think he is the shot caller, if I had to guess here.
Yeah. I mean, just based on the fact that he was a coach and he was in those interviews alone, I was feeling that way. And
yeah.
I think our
sense.
Feelings are confirmed basically by what you just said.
Kind of an important thing to know about. I love when that happens, when you see like an attack fall. I saw a Pyroblast like zip across the screen at like light speed.
Yeah, I mean, this does happen every now and then. Reset's going to grab this Dragon Knight because they had full control. It's 16-14 now. I mean, the commentary we've been doing today has not been that serious, but just to be totally honest, DsA is 10-5 kills right now, and they are controlling this game.
Yeah, no, they're wrecking this game, even though it's like, yeah, it's 16-14. You see games like this that are close. This one isn't really close.
Like, all the kills for TAS have mostly just been because DsA was overconfident.
Yeah, that's what it felt like for sure. And, you know, it's just, it's tough right now. They are definitely being outplayed in a lot of ways here. DsA is playing like a fast and loose game, and so they do have some deaths and whatnot. But we'll see if maybe TAS can, you know, get a team wipe and start to fight back. But
it's going to be hard without 16, you know.
Yeah, not really holding my breath for it this time.
Oh, here comes the Apocalypse, though. Actually gets a few stuns here. But Reset's still in the Dragon Knight. He's doing a lot of his own tanking here.
Oh, Nixian way down bottom there. Definitely got a little bit out of position towards the end. Arrest still up. They've battered down this keep and are continuing to push a little bit. They don't really need to push too much further. The amount of pressure they have on the battleground right now is insane.
They may actually try to end from this if they can get a kill or two. I think it's a bit greedy. We're only at 13 minutes. And they're just going to back off. Reset going to drop some Chain Lightnings to stop anyone from mounting, and they get out of there no problem. But scary moments here for TAS, because now they're down to keep, middle of the map, always going to be pushed on their side of the map, which means that the minions are never going to help deny a Dragon Knight, which is actually pretty important.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're just going to go ahead around both sides, in fact, to kill off as many of these Merc camps as possible, try to get some sort of pressure onto these lanes, but obviously much more is going to go to DsA. They look like they should be getting 21st. They aren't really missing any buildings yet. Everything is in their favor.
They have a composition where they can really do a lot of work with the talents they've taken at 16. Like, look at Zul's going for vulnerability on his Bone Prison, so if you get someone in there, they're actually going to take a ton more damage. A lot of damage being put into Diablo's Flame Stomp, and even Uther going for Benediction, so he's going to be able to double stun somebody, or even actually have some additional heals, but it's more than likely going to be used to attempt to lock somebody down with 2 stuns and get picks. So they have some potential to win some fights, but they need to win at least 2 or 3 before they're really back in this.
No, you're very right about this. The thing is, I think that what they need to focus on is blowing someone up right at the beginning of the fight, but so far the engages by DsA have been really, really on point. Like, we've seen 2 unbelievably good Sunders by Arrest so far.
Yeah. And when he drops those Sunders, it's always the Force Walls that pull up to make sure no one can get out. And Reset has shown us some really good thrall today. Very impressed.
Well, hopefully we see Haben once again using a really great Void to try to get the engagement to actually work out for him. But we will see. It looks
He's
like
looking for it,
Yeah. They're kind of pressing in a little bit here, and it looks like TAS going to start to run out.
Kino does spot him, though, with that Oracle there. And, oh, look at this. Going to secure the kill here with that Sundering. And this is a wasted APOC.
All right, well, they do actually get that Void Prism down so that they can disengage. But I got to say, again, that Sunder, I'm getting chills. That Sunder was so good because not only did it hit Zul, it hit Uther, the only guy that could save Zul there. So he lined it up just right, and they blew up Zul before the stun was off of Uther. So fantastic move here by DsA. They're looking so crisp and clean.
And when you look at the damage output that TAS actually has to offer here, Zul's really it. He's like the main damage dealer, basically, because he's going to drop the Poison Nova, which is going to do a lot of AoE damage over time, and then Tasser's going to have to look for targets, but there's no other AoE. Falstat's going a little bit of a mage, but we do see Storm Shield get dropped down here as 20 is hit, and this looks like it could be a disaster here for TAS. Look, this Lion's going to go down now as well.
They thought they had BDG there, but in fact, he had all of them. Yeah. That was crazy, man. He went really low on health and then blew everybody up. So this is game, level 20 versus 17, only 2 heroes up. I'd be quite surprised if there's any way TAS can do anything.
No. I mean, you've got Mage Falstad who can't do much without any mana, that's for sure. And there he goes, he's down, and Gomang's not going to save anybody here.
Yeah, they're not screwing around at all. And, well, that's everybody dead.
Yeah. You've got double Storm Shields up. I mean, this is just how it goes. So when you have hit 20 like that, you're going to win that fight no matter what. And they do end it here at 16.5 minutes, a medium-length game.